And look, here's the thing, and it's fine, but everything is trans and everything is black. I get it. They're trying to say that there are so many young, black, brilliant mechanical engineers out there. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think there are that many. Let's go on to something historically gay, at least now, going forward. Remember how Iron Man wasn't filled with faggotry? Remember that? That was fun.
Which one?
Back in the day?
So Disney now, in not being able to dig their own grave deep enough, they decided to drop their worst content yet. And this encapsulates everything wrong. And this is why this is so fun. Because for a while, this kind of thing worked. You realize that? Before this new generational shift, it's no small thing. And this is also why I've talked about the fracturing on the right and impeaching Donald Trump and how I'm ashamed, people saying I'm ashamed to have voted for him. Generation Z, and I think Generation Alpha below them from the numbers we have, going conservative, leaning right, leaning significantly right, that may be the most significant shift politically in this country ever, but certainly the last 150 years. That doesn't happen. And so people who voted for the first time in this last election, who voted for Donald Trump, it's important that we show those people what their money got them, what their vote got them. And so if you, simply because you want to be a contrarian for the sake of it, downplay the wins, you may lose them forever. Because these people, these young people who veered right, they're very fortunate in that their first vote was part of a movement where they can actually see the fruits of their vote. Because we all know what it's like to vote for Republicans and have nothing to show for it. They need to see that there's something to show for it. And that's a long way around to say this stuff that you see from Disney, the propaganda, legacy media, all of the entertainment media industrial complex, it used to work and shape public opinion. Now it has become the point of ridicule. And that is the biggest win of them all. It's time for Entertainment Minute. Okay, and really quickly, I forgot to tell you guys, best way to follow this show, we're live weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, no matter what, but download the Rumble app, follow us there. If you're still watching on YouTube, if you're on Facebook or X, follow us there, you get notified when we are live. It's Rumble, we own live, YouTube's dead, Rumble did it, and sometimes we do special streams, you don't get spammed, download the Rumble app. And before we go, Disney,
Disney's market, so they've lost in a lot of different ways. So far they've lost $11 billion on streaming, and they lost $140 billion in market cap since March of 2021 alone.
Okay.
I think there's 5 movies responsible for $630 million in losses.
Billion.
Wow. It's not billion. That's a wrong number. Yeah, $630 million. It's insane. And this is probably not going to help.
No. So in ensuring that it gets worse.
So you're saying that Pedro Pascal Fantastic Four might not be great?
It might not be great. Well, no Fantastic Four film has ever been great. And that's hard to do with Jessica Alba in a bodysuit.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it.
Just call it Jessica Alba bodysuit and include nothing else, and it would have done better.
Yeah, I'll provide the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The viewers will all provide their thing.
Oh, come on.
Stop it. Jeez. You went along with me the entire show, and you know what's coming up.
Well, it gets worse. We're about to cause a whole lot of cancer.
So, some people here in the office, I didn't have time, watched the first episode last night of this Ironheart, which is part of the universe for Iron Man. And of course, it's every progressive woke trope that could be fit in there. Let's watch. Trailer.
Tech is the future. Riri, you can actually help people.
I know.
Riri?
So, where's your arc reactor? That's like
You know, they don't exactly hand those out.
Oh my God.
When I got back from Wakanda, I felt stuck.
To bring my ideas to life, I need cash.
Crazy, gotta go crazy.
come work for me.
I assume these jobs aren't exactly legal.
Not exactly. So you in or out?
We Ocean's 11 or The Sopranos?
What's the difference?
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I don't want to do it. That's enough.
You haven't gotten to the part about the suit being solar powered yet.
Fine.
It's science.
Fine.
It's solar and wind powered.
Oh, really? And her name is
so it lasts
How?
14 minutes.
and her name is
yeah.
Riri. She's
Riri. Yeah, what did that mean
retarded
in high school?
That's real retarded, sir.
Yeah. So they
Oh, my
need
God.
cash, literally perfection. Okay, let me guess. You said you watched it, Josh. So Iron Man is now basically the new one is a black chick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a black chick, and there's a lot of minority characters, and that's fine. There's some white ones. There's not really a lot of white ones. There's only a few, and they're all like super negative stereotype white people.
Right.
Right. So like the very beginning, there's a white guy, and he's the dean of MIT, and he's the one who's angrily kicking her out of MIT after she made a bunch of mistakes and caused a lot of damage.
Okay.
Wrongfully kicking her out. He's angry, gets mad. He's you're out of here, and he has that voice. And then there's like
We don't want colors in MIT.
yeah, well, he didn't say that, but it's very close.
Yeah.
And then you go to that guy that was in there who's like, where's your arc reactor? That guy's like another like stereotypical suburban white dude. You're in his house at one point. He's got a live, laugh, love sign above him.
Oh my God.
He's he's terrified of this little teenage girl. And he's got live, laugh, love twice in his little office. And he's got, oh, by the way, there's a fourth live, laugh, love sign he puts to the trash at one point because he's like, oh, she told me to get rid of my dorky white stuff. And then and then there's another scene where he steps in the neighbor's dog, little white neighbor's dog poops in his yard, and he's like, oh, what do you? And she's like the most annoying Karen white chick of all time. Like the dialogue is terrible. It seems like it was written by a fucking meme artist. It's the worst.
Yeah, and then I understand, I understand a lot of trans in there too.
Oh yeah, there's some that are supposed to be not. Like you're supposed to not think that they're trans. You're supposed to be like, that's a guy.
Yeah.
It's like Nick Applejack here knows. He read the comic books, and he was telling me that the blood siblings, they call them in the show, they're actually known as the blood brothers, and they're aliens, and now they're just
trans
people. Yeah, and then one's a female to
sisters?
male trans person who's supposed to just be this Mexican person with a really bad mullet. And when they fight, they throw security guards across the room.
Well, many Mexicans.
And then there's one who's a trans
treatment.
person, and it's this giant black dude with like green makeup and green hair and the nails, and claps his nails as like a.
Okay, all right.
That's right. And it's like 6'7", full of testosterone. And in the comic books, Nick was telling me that it's supposed to be like this giant fat white guy.
Yeah,
like,
we have. Yeah.
His whole thing is that he's a big fat white guy, and he sits at a computer and does all the tech stuff and hacks.
Yeah, it's a weird trans black guy who clips his nails. So
Did they say that tech is the future in the start of this? Was that
don't know.
one of the lines that said tech is the future? Like, oh really? Hi, 1980s.
yeah, they're bringing out there.
she-
You're like, look, I got a calculator watch.
I think it's
It's
also
solar powered. I
it's
can
also
spell
now.
tits upside down.
Yeah, sorry. It's also the now. And by the way, Josh, do I have this correctly? That she needs cash to become a superhero, and so she becomes a villain.
Well, no, hold on. I'm
No,
gonna
she
get-
needs cash to build her suit. She wants to build her suit.
So we'll get to it. We'll get
Okay,
to it. We'll
fine.
get to it.
I'm
But
just-
I guess here's a little
sure.
teaser from the opening episode. I guess is I would watch it. I just couldn't. I've watched so much of this crap for you. The only other time I put my foot down was Cuties. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna watch it. Okay, this is probably worse than Cuties. But let's show this.
Here we go, okay.
Oh shit.
Just to let you know, your girl finna be bigger than Jobs.
Right.
Bigger than Gates.
Right.
Bigger than Pim.
Right.
Bigger than Stark.
Yeah.
Combined.
Well, are you gonna get so big because someone used the N-word?
Obesity and
People watching this
Sugarfoot.
segment, that's a callback to Jim Bowman. People watching this segment, if it gets
Like what?
clipped, he said that black people are only fat because at some point a white person used the N-word. So, according to Disney Plus, Ironheart pits technology against magic. What?
Oh, I know it. Okay, I get it.
When Riri Williams, a young genius inventor determined to make her mark in the world, returns to her hometown of Chicago. Her unique take on building iron suits is brilliant, but in pursuit of her ambitions, she finds herself wrapped up with the mysterious yet charming Parker Robbins, a.k.a. the Hood. And here's the thing. This whole thing is like Josh was just saying. It's that Riri as a black woman just can't get her fair share. She would be the best on bigger than Jobs if I wasn't a black one, people wasn't racist. In reality, here's the thing. The exact opposite is true. If you are a passable young black woman, there are all kinds of programs and incentives and subsidies to get you in STEM fields. And then they inevitably fall behind by all the statistics we have available to us. So,
Well, she was on one. In the show, she's on the Tony Stark scholarship program.
Okay.
And she gets kicked off of it from
so they make
costing the school like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you mean she was a public vandal?
Oh.
So a quarter of all Pell Grant recipients are black, to be clear. There's other programs out there. Black Girls Do STEM, National Society of Black Engineers, UNCF STEM Scholars Program. Now just imagine if any of the, just change it to white. And look, here's the thing, and it's fine, but everything is trans and everything is black. I get it. They're trying to say that there are so many young, black, brilliant mechanical engineers out there. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think there are that many. I just don't.
According to percentages, it's like it's per capita, right? So it's like I think black women hold the most master's degree per capita, is what it is. And then they go, "Well, everyone's holding us back." It's like, yeah. Are they? You just bragged about having the most master's degrees per capita.
Yeah, and nothing's stopping you from inventing anything. In other words, the barrier to entry would be we wouldn't allow you to get masters because that's an institution. But anyone from their couch can invent anything. So the institutions are encouraging you, we're subsidizing you. But then when it comes to, hey, sink or swim on your own, statistically, well, I don't know, point me to any inventions that would rival Tony Stark coming from someone like Riri. And it's fine. Maybe they just haven't had their day yet, the Riris of the world, to be specific. But let's not take it away from Tony Stark. And here's the thing. Here's a quote from it, too. And this is just all designed. Look, this is because angry, mustachioed feminists and trans, lesbian, queers, intersectionalists, they can't keep themselves from sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. And they want you to feel guilty for being a straight white male who's part of the demographic that gave the modern world everything. You can say that it's because it was an oppression of everyone else, but not at this point in 2025. You don't need to feel guilty. We don't need to un-whitewash everything, whatever it is, trans-wash. It's just designed to make you shut up. Don't. So here's a quote from Riri. I need to find a lab so big I won't notice if I finesse a resource here or there. So since she doesn't, here's the thing, she doesn't have enough money. And of course, you assume there are no other white people in her program who might come from impoverished families who don't have enough money and don't steal. Her answer to everything in this show is to just steal it. Sometimes she doesn't even need to, like this bicycle. That's racist! You didn't need to steal that from the lab?
No. By the way, she's a genius, right? She's supposed to be a genius in this show.
She is a genius, yeah. And I would like to give it a little devil's advocate, a little bit. Okay, so the character isn't terrible. The character's not terrible. The story's not terrible, and I can predict where it's going. It's pretty easy to predict where it's going. She is trying to get this suit. She's trying to accomplish something. She's trying to be great, trying to be remembered and make this great thing because she can, right? That's the whole thing. Why are you doing this? Because I can. Got it. You're a genius. Awesome. And it looks like she has no resources. She doesn't have the capabilities. So she resorts to lesser desirable, yes, stealing, getting associated with the wrong people to get some money. Right. And you can see in the show, you can see her character like having qualms with, like having a conflict, an internal conflict with what she's doing. There's a security guard shot. She feels terrible about it. She keeps asking. They go, don't worry about it. And she's with these, undesirables that she's hanging out with. And it appears that eventually in the series, she's going to, turn from them and fight them. That's where it says where science beats magic because this guy has a hood. He has a magic hood. The problem is when they swapped out all the, we're going to get to the gender swaps and the race swaps. When they did all these things, they did it with the main characters of the show because they're main characters, but they're all bad guys.
Yeah.
So in trying to be less racist and sexist, they have become more racist and sexist.
Yeah.
All the bad people that are stealing are minorities.
Yes.
All the violent people are the gay and the trans. It's like, you guys missed it.
Yeah.
You're not helping your cause at all.
No. Well, let's get to that. The race and gender swaps. Okay. So the Hood in a comic book, white man. In this one, it's a Hispanic man in the show. The Hood's cousin, John King, in the comic, a white man. In the show, of course, a Hispanic man. Slug as a character in the comic, obese white man in the show. An effeminate-looking black man, maybe trans. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know the rule. The Blood siblings, they're brothers and they're aliens. In the show, it's a girl and a female to male trans.
Though that's actually probably accurate. They are kind of like aliens.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the closest they got with all of
And
them.
they're supposed to be the strength of the squad, and they're like 5'6".
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I need my TRT.
Where's the muscle? Our crew needs more muscle.
Just tries to pick up a shield and there's a bone fracture immediately. Someone must have yelled the N-word.
Ding! Oh, you hit my mastectomy scar.
Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but this lady doesn't have any money. Didn't Tony Stark make the first Iron Man suit in a cave?
Yes.
He did.
I don't got money. I got to steal it. He made the first one in a cave while being held hostage by terrorists. Just saying.
Well, to be fair, he did have the resources. The terrorists were giving him the resources.
That's true.
From his own industry. So I guess there's something there.
I
But
guess. A few rusty nails and a couple of head wraps, and you create a nuclear core. Here's the thing, though, that's really, and all references, we make them available. The left, they just tell you that everyone agrees with them, and if not, they must be paid for. They must be fake. You know, kind of like we see right now that everyone agrees with me, and if they say that Donald Trump taking out Iran's nuclear abilities, they must be paid by the Jews. Or you see people who say like, hey, everyone agrees with me unless they think that we shouldn't support Israel, then they must be paid by someone else. People do that, but the left does this always. They always try and gaslight you and tell you that, yeah, no, everyone agrees with me except you because you're paid for by someone. And you're like, well, I'm not getting the money. So Rotten Tomatoes, the score, the critics, it's about 69%. The audience is 65%. But here's the thing. The reviews were much, much worse before those bad reviews were just removed. Just taken off. The bad reviews were taken off. So 65% is a lie because Rotten Tomatoes has become aware of this. Disney has a lot of pull where when you see, right, and I think all of us at this point, we know if you see a very high score from the critics and a very low score from fans, you typically know, okay, that means this is something that's designed for the leftist, elitist critics, and you usually skip over it. So now they're manipulating that. That actually prompted this headline. It said, Ironheart review bombing proves some comic book fans still can't handle women of color in the spotlight. What? That's not. Go search on YouTube or on Rumble reviews of this show, and you will see the mainstream view of people who actually love these comic books. They're negative. Those just get removed. They're just not included in the average on Rotten Tomatoes. The left cannot handle criticism, and they cannot enter onto the battlefield of ideas. It's just, your review's gone.
These super fans, they love the story. They fell in love with the story. They fell in love with characters, and they wanted to see it on the screen.
Right.
That's what they wanted, and they're not getting it, and that's what they're saying. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's, well, you can't handle a black woman in the lead. Well, she was the black woman in the lead in the comic book too, fool.
Yeah, it just wasn't all
they
the other
wanted that, and then the other stuff, and then you had to, and then you circumvent the story. You change the plot. Now you're creating new things to fill holes, and it's just.
Well, Disney, it's just like the fans are like, hey, we want this, and Disney's like, fuck you. How about that? And they're like, hey, well, I don't like it. They're like, yeah, fuck you more. Hey, Rotten Tomatoes, take it out on their review. And they think this is a business model that's going to work. The problem for them is that now you guys can all see this. You can all, there's transparency. You just didn't know before. And the same thing can be applied to journalism. So they say that their solution is not, hey, maybe we need to change this. Maybe we're hemorrhaging money because this isn't working. It's Ironheart review bombing proves some comic book fans still can't handle women of color in the spotlight. This is their argument, and whatever this gay defense of the show was.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guess why I'm calling? It's June 24th.
Yeah, yesterday, Robert Downey Jr., the straight cis white male, that straight cis white male snowflakes duped Kevin Feige into thinking is a necessary element for Marvel to have success at the box office, called the star of Ironheart, Dominique Thorne, on the day the Disney Plus series premiered.
Ironheart premieres today. It's all been leading to this. Isn't that exciting?
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for the call.
Now, this FaceTime call was posted by Robert, Dominique, and Marvel Studios, and I don't think Robert's excitement over the series is the underlying message here.
17 years.
No, let me guess. You're going to apply an intent to a sweet congratulatory video.
It was filmed.
In this love together.
With that line, this makes me think that this is the deemed white male savior sending a message to the white racists. Yeah, if you come for her, you're coming for me.
Sure, and none of this has stopped Disney from reimagining other classics, like our beloved Pinocchio.
And I'm real. I'm a real nigga.
Whoa, Disney. He's out of line.
And cancer.
The realist.
Wait for that apology. And that guy needs to put a shirt on. Also, do you guys realize, hey, Robert Downey Jr., when you talk about how white people don't know struggle, so you gotta steal. Let me just set you. Robert Downey Jr. is a megastar because he was basically dead. His career was over. This is a guy who was a child star, which guaranteed messed him up, was famously cut from SNL after one season, rehab. Everyone talked about his promise, how his career was dead at that point. They were basically burying the body of Robert Downey Jr.'s career. He was gone, done. His only friend was Mel Gibson, and he had to eat crap doing shows like Ally McBeal and episodics and guest starring until he came back, proved himself, earned his spot, and then became the lead in one of the most successful franchises of the modern era. You tell me that guy doesn't know struggle. That's why people like him. It is
the most successful.
It's a redemption tale. It's a comeback story. If you see everything through race, well, of course you justify black female Ironheart having to steal shit. Because someone somewhere used the N-word and gave Jamal Bowman diabetes.
And then he pulled a fire alarm.
Yes.
All because of that. I don't even understand it either. He was a huge supporter of Kamala Harris, Robert Downey Jr. Like, he's one of them. They're attacking their own in this one. Like, you wouldn't want them to combine to try to make this the best premiere possible? There's a reason that this was delayed for a very long time in production, right?
You're still here on YouTube. Remember when we could say whatever we wanted on YouTube and people didn't have to censor out words like gay? See, even that, right? That's not even a swear word. Or the word sex. Even if you're just talking about it, you're not saying anything profane. That's why I live stream on Rumble 5 days a week. Go subscribe over there on Rumble, where you get the live show every single day. If you're still using this archaic form of delivery for information on YouTube, I don't want to judge, but your father hates you.